My name is Nick Abrigo, and this is the We Go Abrigo YouTube channel. We Go Abrigo was coined by my friend Bonnie Kyle, big shout out, last year during my 2015 vacation to Florida with my family. This video series will cover the 16-day trip that I'm taking to Japan. I'm going to be documenting what I do every day with my companion Joe, and I'll be covering lots of different elements of Japanese culture and some things to look out for when you travel out there. So with that in mind, we're going to cover the basic things that you need and some recommendations I would make if you decide to go visit Japan for the first time. So let's break it down now. Okay, first thing, bare minimum to get to Japan. You're gonna need one of these guys. You're gonna need a passport. Pretty easy to get if you're willing to wait between 4 and 6 weeks. I had to actually get mine for business, and I paid a little extra fee to get it like within a week or two. I think that was only 40 or 50 extra bucks, but pretty much be ready to pay 100 or so for that, just in my experience. So required if you're going to travel internationally. The second thing that I would recommend that you have on your trip to Japan is cash money. This is going to be about 80,000 yen to take with me for the 16 days of the trip. 80,000 yen is about, think of that as like $800. So with 80,000, you're just kind of removing 2 zeros in the Japanese yen. Now it's not exact, it's realistically more like $747. But if you can get this idea in your mind that about 1,000 yen is going to be 10 bucks, then 5,000 is 50, and then 10,000 is 100. That will help you process. Japan, despite being really advanced technology-wise, public transportation, televisions, movies, whatever, they're a cash society. A lot of cash vendors. The country really moves with cash. And you're going to find yourself in situations where your Visa's not going to work, your American Express is certainly not going to work. You need to have this to get you through those problems. Especially the transportation system can be very friendly towards cash. I bank at Wells Fargo, so I just ordered this cash about a month ago and did the exchange rate before I went out there. There are some predatory companies when you're in Japan where you try to do a cash exchange. I like to avoid all that stuff. I like to bring the cash with me in hand. And especially if it's your first time out, make sure you've got cash. The third thing you need to consider when you're traveling to Japan is how you're going to get around. The easiest way, if you plan to visit multiple cities in Japan, is to get what's called a Japan Rail Pass, just like that. This Rail Pass is about 250 bucks, and they'll ship it to you overnight via FedEx. There's an international service based out of England, I think, actually. That's where I got mine. This pass will entitle you to unlimited travel on any JR operated line in Japan, with exceptions, of course. There are some non-JR railways, but that means bullet trains. That means getting around to where you need to get around to the island. This is a 7-day pass, so 7 days for 250 bucks, and I think the 14-dayer is like 400, so they give you a little bit of a discount. For me, I'm just going to do 7 days. This is going to be for traveling to Tokyo, to Kyoto, to Osaka. Now to put that in terms for you, if I bought a bullet train transportation from just Tokyo to just Kyoto and back, that would be about $210, 200. So for $40 more, you can get 7 days unlimited passes. Quick note, this is only available if you're a foreigner. You can't be a Japanese citizen. And you can only get this outside of the country. This is actually a certificate, which will be traded then when I get to Japan to get the actual pass. But this has to be done beforehand. So Japan is probably not a good place to travel to if you're very last minute about things. You'll lose a lot of... What else to bring on this trip? We've got our passport, we've got our cash, we got our Japanese Rail Pass. All three of those things means that you're thinking ahead, or you already had some of those things. The next thing to consider is what is kind of difficult to get in Japan when you're going out there. The one thing that is not difficult to get is anything that you can buy in a convenience store in the US. Convenience stores in Japan are like the little tiny like Super America plus, or like a tiny Rainbow, or like a tiny Target. Like you can get your full meals there. You can get delicious snacks. You can get all your medicine. Like a Walgreens, if you like a Walgreens, or like a Snyder's drugstore, if they still have those. But almost all the convenience stores are like that, and there's so many of them. They're everywhere. So no matter where you're staying in Tokyo or in Japan, you'll probably be pretty close to a convenience store. With that in mind, I got bag 1. This is my bag for the TSA. So that's deodorant. I have a preferred. I don't know if a lot of people you have preferred deodorants, but I like mine. I have SPF, an SPF. What is this? Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Dry Touch. Like probably, in my opinion, the best SPF protection if you don't want to get burned. I can take my own out there. What else? I got some hair stuff, which is pretty standard. You can find that out there pretty easily. Toothpaste, super easy. And just like some like rash or like dry itch. I am going during like the summer and plan on walking a lot when you're in Tokyo. Somewhere between 20 and 35,000 steps a day. Yeah, that's what you're walking into. So I like to go knowing that I already have these things because the language barrier can be kind of difficult. The second thing I have here are drugs, all prescription of course. My prescription drugs, my toothbrush, Excedrin for headaches and caffeine. That's just to kind of help me out with all the walking, a lot of walking. Pepsi Complete, this is like my number 1 recommendation. If you have a sensitive stomach, Pepsi Complete, they'll take care of you. And in case you get kind of clumped up, I know it's kind of disgusting, a laxative. But this is everything I take with me. You could probably get most of these at the convenience stores when you're in Japan, but why not just get them here and take them with you? Very easy. Since this is my first video series documenting for WeGo Abrigo, I'm actually using a whole camera kit that I've developed for this entire thing. I'm very particular. I'm a photographer in my free time, amateur, professional, whatever. It's something that interests me. But I put together a little pack here. This is a little satchel. These are ideal when you're walking around in Japan because there's lots of things you need to carry with you. I always say carry a passport with you when you're in a foreign country. Cash, change. In this case, I'm shooting this entire series using nothing but an iPhone and kind of the rig that I'm talking into right now, and stuff contained in this bag. So every shot that I get, including this fancy Bluetooth microphone that I have, is all being carried with me at all times, just in this little bag. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of a challenge. I have a DSLR, I could set up a cool microphone, I could set up a whole little rig and do it that way. But it's very, takes up a lot of space. I wanted something just easy to carry with me. It's going to be very warm when I travel. And I didn't want to be interrupted at all in kind of enjoying the experience. So I have things like different straps in here. I've got the rig itself, which I'm talking into with like a pistol grip and a basic tripod. I've got this. This is actually really handy even if you're not filming. This is a, what is it, 10,000 mAh rechargeable battery. So this will be used to recharge my phone and to recharge any other accessories that I have here, including the Bluetooth mic or other things like that. Comes with a really handy little plug here that will do kind of the iPhone and then also mini USB. This is pretty important to take with you because when I check into Japan tomorrow, I'm going to be renting a Wi-Fi hotspot. The Wi-Fi hotspot, if you don't speak Japanese, is 100% critical for this trip. It's going to give us unlimited data for while we're out there. It's going to get great signal. It's going to last about 8 to 9 hours in passive mode. Charging with this, we'll probably get that up to 15, 16, plus charging the battery before we have to charge this. Having a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot is amazing. As soon as you have that mobile Wi-Fi hotspot, you can use Google Translate on your phone. And now suddenly you just went from not speaking Japanese to being able to do basic translations. And Google Translate will even allow you to take a picture of like a food menu, and you can kind of loosely see what it's all about. A technique that I used last year when I traveled in March. So it's very important. So my little bag, this little video kit here, that's all we're using. And yeah, charger, really important. Maybe even 2 of them, but I didn't want to go too heavy. All right, we're handheld now. So last but not least, you're going to want a bag to take with you. This is a Samsonite bag that I ordered from Amazon. This one was like $120. It's got a nice kind of plastic case. It's not super hard, so it won't crack. It's got plenty of space over here. That's 12 t-shirts and 3 pairs of shorts. It's got this nice little section here for all my medicine and anything I'm taking with me. And then back here, I've got 3 dress shirts and then socks and underwear for the entire trip. And very nicely, the entire thing is really small. So you can kind of see I have large hands. But you can see it's not so big. And that's something you really want to consider when you're traveling in Japan. Large luggage is really difficult. So that's something you really want to consider, is large luggage is hard to get around. Tokyo streets are smaller. Tokyo cars and taxis are smaller. Subway trains are very tight when you travel a very busy area. So you don't want this giant piece of American steamrollerness. You want to think small. Minimalism, stuff like that. I'm already kind of a minimalist, so you can kind of get to know me. But you don't want to take a big bag. If you absolutely have to buy everything over there, just buy another bag when you're over there. Luggage is cheap, depending on where you go, and then you can just check it on your way back. But getting into the country, having to worry about all these suitcases, that's not what you want to do in this first go. That covers everything in terms of what I'm taking. Just that one suitcase and this one little satchel. That's it. Yeah, that's all we're going for. Alright, so I will check in tomorrow morning for the day 1 video, where I will be traveling for 13 hours, direct flight from Minneapolis to Narita Airport, and then I'll be covering, once you get to Narita, what do you do? How do you actually get to Tokyo? How do you get to where you're looking for? And we'll be meeting up with Jo to see how she's doing, and if she has any kind of recommendations for the trip. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do like it, thumbs up. Obviously this is more just for me, but if you're watching this, I hope you enjoy the journey. Alright, cool. I'll see you tomorrow. I gotta get some sleep.